What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to Sooner Surge for a Sooner Surge game time as OU takes on Missouri tonight, 6:45. First off, before we get going with this, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, turn on your notifications. Also, you see the logo in the top corner there, FanStop. Check them out, www.thefanstop.com. Officially licensed merchandise. Sign up for the shirt of the month. You get 10% off your first 3 months. And Jackson, uh, got my Christmas decorations up and got to start looking for gifts now. That is the perfect gift to give somebody. Gift them a shirt of the month. OU officially licensed. Do it. Do it today. Tonight, big game.
Yeah.
Sooners versus Missouri, a game that I would say a lot of fans before the season thought this is a game they'd circled. It's a game that may get a little chippy tonight. We'll see. But the big news of the day as we get ready for the game tonight is that Javonte Barnes did not make the trip. He will not be available for Oklahoma. For Missouri, Brady Cook is out. He will not play. So that puts it in the hands of Drew Pine as the backup quarterback. Jackson, give us your thoughts first on this game.
Well, Jason, you said it. It's a game a lot of Oklahoma fans have had circled on their calendar. I for sure had it circled on mine, a game that I'm excited for. Now, I know people want to say it's a quote unquote rivalry renewed. I wouldn't consider it a rivalry with the way Oklahoma's maybe dominated in a sense, but yes, obviously you have the Caden Green storyline over the offseason with him transferring to Missouri. You have the recruitment of Williams Nwaneri, him going to Missouri. You have JJ Hester transferring to Oklahoma. So there is some storylines here. But Jason, you said it with Javonte Barnes out. Who's going to be that guy at back? Is Taylor Tatum? You'd expect him to be the first guy to go out there and take the opening snaps behind Taylor Tatum. Is Sawchuk available to play? Is Sawchuk going to be the guy? Are we going to see some of X, some Xavier Robinson? Is it going to be Sam Franklin? Is it going to be all three of them? Maybe all four of them if all four are healthy. I think that's something interesting to watch for. And Oklahoma too. Hopefully you can get Michael Tarquin back to play one of the tackle spots. He's questionable going into the game. Because I don't really want to see Spencer Brown out there playing right tackle for Oklahoma. I would if Michael Tarquin's not available to go, I'm hoping we can see a lot of Isaiah Autry Dent. Let the freshman go in there, maybe get some in-game experience, learn, because it's going to be a struggle no matter who's at right tackle if it's
Well,
not Tarquin.
you're right. And the thing is, if you go back and watch the game, Isaiah Dent, like footwork, he looked good. Like
Yeah,
I don't know what the holdup would be instead of playing Brown. I mean, put him in. I mean, if you're going to play
yeah,
Spencer Brown, for goodness, I mean, just
yeah,
Isaiah Dent needs to be playing. Period.
yeah,
He can play the rest of the year and still get redshirted.
yeah.
There's not a reason not to play him, in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see what they do.
Mhm.
Um, you mentioned the JJ Hester. You got JJ Hester, Theo Weiss, as they've swapped.
Yep,
Uh,
that's right. Theo
uh, so,
Weiss. Yep.
so let's talk about Sooner standouts, Jackson. I'll go mine first. Okay. Offensively, I think this is a game we're going to look tonight after the game, and we're going to say, "Wow, Taylor Tatum is really good." Okay. I think Taylor Tatum has been good. He's had some fumbles. He's had some missed protections on blocks, but he hasn't really got in a game where he's gotten a bunch of carries and gotten a rhythm. I think tonight we see that. I think he is an outstanding game. Taylor Tatum. He's my offensive standout. Defensively, I'm going to go with true freshman Eli Bowen. I think he's going to have a lot of coverage on Burden. I think he's going to play a great game. And I've said it before, and he hasn't got it. I think he gets his first interception tonight as a Sooner. I think that happens.
Wow.
Special teams, you know, I've been hard on the special teams punt return unit. I've been very hard on it, but I don't think they do very well in the return game tonight. But you know what I do think they do? I think they get a punt block tonight. So I'm going to go with the
Wow.
punt block team as my unit for special teams.
Yeah. Offensively, for my Sooner standout, I think this guy, uh, over at fall camp and everything, we maybe didn't know what kind of role he was going to play in the wide receiver room. maybe was he going to be wide receiver three? Was he maybe going to be backup to slot guy and Deion Burks? Jason, I'm all in on Jalil Farouk, man. I think he's going to play. I think he's going to come back, make a big impact. I think he's going to get a ton of yak. He's going to catch a lot of short passes, make some plays happen. I think Missouri, if both are healthy, they're going to try and take away Deion Burks a little, some more due to the explosiveness that Burks has. So I look for Jalil Farouk, man. Him and Arnold to really have that connection that we saw flashes of in the Alamo Bowl last year in the first game of the year. And I think that Farouk's going to go for 80 plus yards and a touchdown in his first game back. Defensively, Drew Pine, he's playing QB for Missouri. I don't think this team for Missouri offensively should score very many points. And I feel like it's shocking we haven't called this guy's name this year, Jason, but Billy Bowman Jr., I feel like he's due to get an interception. I feel like he's due to make a play. So I have him as my defensive Sooner standout. And special teams, Zach Schmidt, man, I think he's going to make a couple field goals. I think Oklahoma's going to need to make a couple of kicks in this game. They want to be able to extend the lead. I expect Oklahoma to maybe kind of control the ball on offense, keep their defense off the field as long as possible. And I think that Zach Schmidt's going to make a couple of big kicks for this team.
Yeah, and you mentioned Pine being the quarterback. This is a game where Oklahoma has to absolutely get some turnovers. You
Oh, yeah.
you stop the run and make him try to beat you and get some turnovers through the air. That's what needs to happen in this game.
Mhm.
And we'll get to our predictions on the OU game in just a minute, but there are some big games today, and we'll start with Ole Miss and Georgia. This is a game where if Ole Miss loses, they are out of the playoffs. So this is an elimination
Mhm.
game. Who do you got in this game, Jackson?
I don't trust Lane Kiffin in the big game, Jason. Give me Kirby Smart. He's been there. He's been in these huge games so many times. Yes, I know it's in Oxford. I think what we saw Georgia do to Texas, we're going to see them do some to Ole Miss's offense. I think they're going to make things very difficult for Jackson Dart, confuse him, and take away the explosive plays. And I think that Georgia's going to come out on top.
You're going with the Lane Whiffen. Okay, so Ole Miss to me, you guys know this. I've been kind of not on their side. Okay, I've been saying, they've already lost 2 games. I'm like they're going to underperform. I'm picking Ole Miss. Okay, I am. I think the way Jackson Dart's played the last few weeks, putting up big time numbers, and I know it's Arkansas last week, but Arkansas's defense had played decently, and he just torched them. So I think they get the win. I think Georgia's underwhelming in some games this year, and I think maybe Ole Miss gets on them early, and it's too much for Georgia to get the victory. So I'm going to go with Ole Miss. Also, big game. Alabama, LSU, where they are bringing out a real tiger on the sidelines.
I saw
And
that.
who do you got in this game, Jackson?
Jason, to me, this might be the toughest game. Yeah, I think I've had to pick this college football season out of all these picks. This game is such a toss-up. But my gut is telling me to go with Jalen Milroe. I think when it comes down to the end of the game, who's going to need to make a play, I think Jalen Milroe, he's been there, he's done that. We've seen him do that. And also, I'm not sold on Brian Kelly as a big game coach. And I think that Jalen Milroe, he's going to make some plays down the stretch, Jason. He's going to lead Alabama to a victory in which I think is going to be an extremely, extremely tight game the whole time. A super exciting game to watch as a college football fan. And I think this game has a chance to be one of the top 3 games of the whole entire season.
Well, you got a live tiger on the sideline. Give me LSU by double digits. I think LSU.
Wow.
I am not
Wow.
sold. I'm not sold on Alabama, Jackson. I think their defense hasn't been up to par in some games, and I think
I don't think
LSU.
LSU's has it either, though.
Well, and you know what? As I say this, guys, go to Vegas, throw money on Alabama. You know my picks are usually not the greatest. Okay, so I'm just warning you right now. But that's what I feel right now. I think
Yeah.
LSU's going to get it. I've been better as of late, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's get to the big one for the Sooners. Sooners versus Missouri tonight. Jackson, final score. What do you got?
Jason, this is the most confident I think I've been going to an Oklahoma game in the SEC since the Tennessee game, which was the SEC opener, Jason. I think Drew Pine, we've said it. I think we know this. He couldn't even beat out a walk-on at his former spot to start at quarterback. He was a lacrosse player. And I think Drew Pine, he's going to be confused, as Sam Darnold said whenever he was on the Jets versus New England. I was seeing ghosts. I think Brent Venables and Zach Allen are going to do that to Drew Pine. And I think Oklahoma is going to win by a score of 24-6.
24-6. I do think it's going to be a lower scoring game, but let's face facts. There was a reason Drew Pine was riding the pine. Okay. There's a reason for it. He's a backup quarterback, and you got a backup quarterback, and your playmakers are at wide receiver for Missouri. I think this is a game where Oklahoma can definitely get some interceptions and get some turnovers, and also bring pressure on Pine and try to cause a fumble with the sack. I think OU wins this game. I got the same score for OU. I got 20. Oh, you said 24. I got 20 for Oklahoma. I got 20-13. That 20-13 Oklahoma, they get the win. So we both pick OU. That hasn't happened in a while. But, hey, let's hope it happens tonight. Let's hope the Sooners get a W so we can watch the Twitterverse and Missouri fans melt down on Twitter after the loss to Oklahoma. Appreciate you guys watching this video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Check out the Fan Stop when you get a chance as well. We'll talk to you next time.